Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mondolorian. Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We are back for session 2. I am Mondo, your dungeon master, and with us we have Cleve.
Oh,
We have Lexi.
Hi.
We have Layla.
Hello.
And we are now joined with John.
Good morning.
Yes, it is a good morning.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. It is always a good morning. It's a little nepotism to have John join us because he is my brother. So, but that's it. I'm still gonna hurt his character in many ways. No, that's mean. What a mean thing to say. Why would I say that right off the start?
You okay?
Oh,
Oh.
it'll make me feel bad.
just rebaited for a lifetime with Indian version that release, man.
Let me turn down this blizzard here a bit. It seems loud. Blizzard sound effect. Is it loud for you guys, this blizzard sound effect?
A little bit.
Okay. I think I turned it down a little bit. So hopefully that helps.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who would like to recap, except for John? Although you could try if you'd like to, though. I mean, by all means, you could absolutely try. But who would like to recap what happened last time?
Some of us got a job. Some of us are passengers. And we really like this prisoner, but she doesn't want to get broken out by us, apparently.
Yeah, she wants to pay her debt to whatever.
We got attacked by talking cats, which makes person super suspect of those rule right now.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. I died twice to those cats, okay? I shouldn't be suspect. They tried to kill me.
And that's exactly what I would do if I was trying to.
So you think I'm really trying to go deep undercover is what you're saying. You know what, that makes sense. You figured me out.
Yeah, but there were a whole bunch of crag cats that attacked you, and one of them absolutely was speaking in the common tongue. He was being a jerk. But you guys did survive. You made it to level 2. You probably got your achievements early days. Survive your first encounter. Because you did. That was one I made up. I made up that achievement. That is a lot of thought and effort went into making up that particular achievement.
It's a fine achievement.
It was really exciting.
John, sit tight and don't fall asleep yet, because they'll be meeting you. They'll be meeting you soon. All right, so you guys have chased away those cats. Well, that cat. No, you killed it, right? The last one. Yeah, it was trying to run. Yes, and it absolutely got dead.
First he took it down with his hatred monstrosities.
Yes. All right, so
Can I just take a moment and say that favorite enemy is essentially Wizards of the Coast, sanctioned racism?
you could. I mean, I suppose it is. Maybe.
Does racism count towards like beasts? Like what if I specifically hate cows? Is that racism?
I mean, kind of, because I'm sure there's a cow playable race, like a cow person.
I guess in D&D there would be like minotaurs.
Yeah, in something like And something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness, which is a great game. I mean, it would definitely be. It definitely would be.
Plus, you can choose like humanoids as your favorite enemy.
That's just what do you call it when you hate everybody?
Misanthropy.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. But is there anything else you guys would like to do along this like stretch of road?
I want to spit on the dead carcass of whatever one of the cats that downed me twice and then walk
Sure.
away.
Yeah. You do that. You spit on that guy. It says he was non-threatening, but that's not true. He absolutely was.
He was a threat.
He was a threat.
I feel terrible because I had forgotten Lexi's character's name now.
Bellamy.
Bellamy, that was it. Yeah, Percy's gonna ring over to Bellamy and be like, they were talking cats, and she's a talking cat, he's a talking cat. Should we be worried? Should we be worried?
These talking cats attacked me, and I attacked them. I don't see. I don't see how you could think that we're working together. I fell twice.
It's just, I've only known 2 talking cats in my whole life.
Perfect cover.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I guess I'll have to prove myself in the future. Yes, watch your back. I don't know, man.
Well, I like you and I trust you, so I mean,
Thank you, Bellamy. And also thank you for raising me from the dead twice. It was
no problem. Are you all right? You feel okay now?
Oh, I feel you're great at it. You got me back to 100 every time, so.
Oh. Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah, Lou. Are we far away from the cat that was speaking common?
No, you're not too far away from that cat at all.
Could Bellamy like go over to it quickly and like just kind of look to see if maybe the voice was like coming off of something that wasn't necessarily the vocal cords of the cat, maybe like an amulet or a rock or something else?
Sure. Yeah, examining the cat, you don't see anything obvious, but if you'd like, you can go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Sure. Of course. There we go.
Oh no.
Cheese. Oh, John, I have to give you control of your character. There is absolutely nothing that looks like it would have created the voice for the cat. The voice almost definitely came from the cat itself, not any sort of device.
Okay. Then she'll just like go back to everybody else so they can get like with, I guess, the group.
Okay. All right, so you guys get back to the caravan. My man Osmed is he's happy to see you guys are alive, although I mean Azul definitely looks like he's been batted about a little bit. What did you? Was there someone out there? What did you find?
There's
Percy
nothing
said as well as like a couple of talking cats.
He looks at Azul. Yeah, he looks at Azul as well.
But the cat's walked on 4 legs. I am not just a regular cat. I don't know why the cat talked. I
Crag cats are known to mimic like human sounds, like like cries, but when you say talking, like, is that what you mean? Like, it was just like ah, like that.
yeah, I was just yelling help, I think. Very few words in its vocabulary.
That
Um
we know
Wait, but it actually said help.
I think so. I don't know, can I roll a history check?
No, it did. It was saying, yeah, you don't need to roll a history check. It was definitely saying like help me. It was speaking. It was like help me, Spock. Help me, Spock.
Help me. You're my Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
It was definitely speaking.
and then Vincent Price smashed it with a rock.
Oh no. That is definitely that's definitely peculiar. It's not a kind of I've never heard of like a talking crag cat before. Curious.
Are you sure? It kind of sounded like you a bit. I was just gonna tell you that.
Like me.
Sounded exactly like you. Yeah. That's why we went, because we thought it was you. We're very worried.
No, I'm fine. Uh that's that's definitely peculiar. Wow.
Well, we
I'll,
killed your cats, so
His cat.
Bonus.
yeah, no, yeah, it's huh. Sounded like me. That's definitely peculiar. I'll have to reflect on that. I'll have to talk to someone once we reach Bryn Shander, I think.
It also seemed like sort of like a boss to this other cat, or that we were fighting. I don't know if that adds anything. It seemed like it was in charge, the one that could speak.
Was the other cat talking?
No, just the one.
That is definitely curious. I'm especially concerned that it sounded like me. That's something to worry about. Urtcourt has been like he's been like eavesdropping on the conversation.
Wait, is that the rich guy?
That was the guy, yeah, the rich guy who was like trying to cozy up to everybody and make friends.
Right, okay.
But he just kind of shakes his head and just walks back to the passenger wagon. It's really cold. I can't even describe how cold it is. Cold and dark. So cold, so dark. Cuts right in. All right. Well, if you guys are ready to continue on, I mean, we should be able to make Bryn Shander before. It's already dark, so I'll say before supper.
Yeah, ready to head out.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Gonna load up the map of Icewind Dale itself. This is the whole Frozen Far region, this map that we've been using. But the Icewind Dale map is a little more specific to Icewind Dale. And hopefully everybody should be able to see it in a moment without me needing to put your tokens on it. I can fix that if that does not happen.
So some snow.
Yeah, I see it's still loading as well. Well, it's still loading on one of my machines here as well. Yeah, I think I'm the only one who's not there. Well, one of me. There's two of me here. There's one of me and then there's a cat me. Yeah, we want to turn off token vision and fog exploration. There we go.
Ooh.
We'll just see big black snowiness. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Yeah, you should be able to see it now. Icewind Dale, the place of coldness and all sorts of things that are cold and shivery and dark. Page unresponsive. Okay, but for you guys, I mean, like, I don't need to look at that page just yet. Yeah, so you guys have been coming up. This is the 10 trail down here. So this is where you guys have been coming into the area, following this path to Bryn Shander. Please stop. Let's not do this. Always D&D. If I was sitting here watching like YouTube videos, not a peep. It's the D&D.
Creepy music got us spooked.
Come here, please. Please stop. Please. I'm gonna get you your own game, but just chill out, man. Okay. So, as the day starts to come to a close and you guys are making your way towards Bryn Shander, this is that town there, things definitely get darker. Chiana, please, for the love of God. Thank you. Stop. You definitely see there is quite the aurora, like, in the sky. It is much like, well, you can't see it unless you're watching the stream. There's like a big aurora thing on the stream. But yeah, that's what it, very bright aurora. You stop, for the love of God, is what Osmed says as the ox like keep going. Like he's just like, wait, don't go, please, for the love of God, ox, stop. But they keep going. All right, Bryn Shander. Bryn Shander is a walled town. It's perched atop a cold, lonely, wind-lashed hill. As you guys get closer, you can make out like there are definitely guards on top of the wall. They are definitely dressed very, very warmly, or as warmly as they possibly could get themselves. Osmed calls out. He's just like, we'll be there momentarily. He's like, passengers, you might want to gather up your things. We'll be pulling into town in just a few moments. As you get closer to the walls of the town, so they're like 30 foot high. You can see that like there's definitely some like dirt and rubble like spilling out of some cracks. It seems like that's what fills these walls. There's an outer ring of poles rising above the top of the wall. So it's like there's like a rampart for the town's defenders to kind of like walk about. And he pulls up to the hinged gates, which are about 15 feet tall. And as he is pulling up, they swing open. And there are a couple of guards who see him and they're just like, Osmed, good to see you. You made it safe. Come on in, buddy. And yeah, he brings you guys into the town of Bryn Shander. I am going to... No, don't do that. I'm going to load that town scene for you. Gianna, you need to stop. Oh my God. You're killing me, dog. I love you, but you're killing me here. So you guys are coming in through the southwest gate. And let me make sure you guys can see. Turn off the fog exploration because we don't need that. So this is the town. Is there a burglar trying to get in or something? Is what one of the guards says as the gates open. He's just like, why is that gate open? Is there a burglar trying to get in? Will you please stop? Please. There might be another dog barking somewhere nearby or something, and she's trying to communicate through the walls. I am sorry for her. For her insanity. It's a little extra tonight. Stop being extra. But he brings you in through the southwest gate.
What is this little thing right here? Because I'm guessing you passed it.
You know what? I mean, it honestly doesn't say, so I'm gonna guess it's just probably just like a little extra guard tower of sorts. That's definitely what I'm calling it now. It's a guard tower. So like they can they can kind of see and like wave to the other guards like, hey, there's someone coming, and it's not that far from the wall, so I mean the other guards are probably like, we see them. And we can turn this down as well. So.
You see them because they are equidistant to you. They are gods.
Okay, as Osmed pulls in, he pulls up in front of the stables, which are right here. And we can go ahead and mark those off. We can show them to you there. Everything, nothing wants to work. Nothing. Stables. Chiana, you need to stop, please. My dog, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Dog. Please stop. Okay. So Osmed starts to, he starts like unloading supplies. A whole bunch of people come over. They're just like, yes, caravans here, supplies. They start like unloading things and getting things ready. And Osmed goes to all of you who were guards, definitely. And he pays you what he promised plus an additional 10 gold.
Yes.
10 gold?
10 gold. He also, Bellamy, he's just like taking out the cats and going with those two. He's like, that was pretty, I'm going to refund your passage. And he hands you 10 gold as well.
What was he gonna pay us?
You were being
like
paid
5 silver a day. Or
yep,
something.
5 silver a day. So it was like 6 days. So that was like, math. 30 silver pieces, or 3 gold, plus the bonus.
Would it be possible for me to take some of the gold that he gives me? I don't know how much. And like try to slip some to Lantha and be like, hey, I don't know if by the time you make it to wherever you're going, you're still going to want to be a prisoner. But if you try to escape, here's like a couple pieces of gold. So you're good, to run. I don't know where she is. That's why I'm asking.
Actually, yeah. I mean, they're bringing her off of her wagon now. She's still in her manacles. So okay. Yeah, you can definitely approach her and she. How much gold are you going to give her?
I don't know what's like a sneakable amount because she's in manacles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 or 10 pieces of gold.
Okay. 5 you could slip her very easily without needing to roll a sleight of hand type check. If you want to give her 10, I'll ask for a sleight of hand check.
I mean, I'll just outright give her 10 pieces of gold.
Okay. So you're just like, yeah, okay.
I'll just hand it to her.
Right.
enough for a bus to Albuquerque.
Yeah. She takes the gold. She's looking at it, just kind of like, wow. She's just like, I don't know if I'll get a chance to spend it, but I mean, thank you, all of you, for your kindness. It's been good to have some friends.
Maybe you could use it for some lawyer fees if there's a trial. I don't know. I don't know what kind of legal things go on.
I might be
in
able to afford.
Icewind
Yeah, I might be able to afford a better defense. Sure, yeah, I appreciate that. And like the guard, what was his name? Doug.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean Doug like notices, but he just kind of like looks away. Doug's just like, yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about this exchange of gold.
This is just like the party, Doug. What happens at the party stays at the party. This is still the party.
It was nice to meet you, Lantha, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure if we stay together, the three of us, or the two, or three with me, but the two of them and I, if we stay together, we're a pretty unique group. So I'm sure you'll find us if you look. But hopefully you feel comfortable with whatever decision you make. And it was really lovely to meet you.
Thank you. It was really lovely to meet you too. Thank you all.
Bye, friend. And then I'll like head out, give her space.
All right.
Yeah, at first he'll just be like, goodbye, I hope they don't execute you.
Thanks. Okay. So Osmed, he thanks you all. Like, thanks. You guys were excellent. A little strange. I mean, I don't really mind that you guys befriended the prisoner. It was a little not. Well, it was fine. It was fine, and thank you so much. And I'm definitely gonna look into this like crag cat that sounded like me. I mean, I'm glad he's dead, or she. Um, I'm maybe, I don't know. I mean, it sounded like me. That's so weird. So I am gonna definitely look into that. But I'm gonna get home. Thank you again, all of you. If I'm ever, my next caravan, I don't know when it's gonna be, but if you guys are looking for work still, I'll get the word out. Like, you guys are more than welcome to work for me again.
Yes, look us up. I would probably be down.
I could just like lock her out of my room and then see if she cries at the door, which would make me just as crazy. Please come here. Please come here and stop that. Please come here and stop that. I don't want to play with the pig. I'm just trying to get you to stop from barking. You play with the pig. Okay. So what would you guys like to do? You are in this very cold, very very frosty city. Like, there are people like walking around, especially now that it's night. They're trying to get someplace warm. Everybody is just like bundled up in all sorts of cold weather clothes, which you guys have as well. Everybody does have cold weather clothes, even if I haven't put it on your sheet yet. Osmed is still unloading things, so if you guys have a question or something, you can always speak to him. You might not have a question for him, and if not, that is absolutely fine. Doug is like, so where are you guys staying?
I don't know. Did you guys still want to stay together? So we'll just ask. It's totally chill if not, can figure something out together, or if you guys wanted to split up, I don't know.
Oh, didn't know that separating was an option. I was planning on staying together. You don't want to stay together?
No, I was just giving you the option, just in case you like felt weird hanging out with me. You always have the option to do what you want, but I would love to stay together as a group of companions, friends.
Right, but you're indebted to me. I've saved your life and you're so
This is right. My deepest apologies, my lady. What can I do for you?
Percy's gonna keep an eye out too.
Double life dead. Shit.
He's not convinced that it was not.
I'm just not. Yeah. I don't know. I go. I ask Douglas, where can we get boarding for the foreseeable future?
Oh well.
Also, is there a market in the area?
Oh, definitely. Like, I don't know what sort of stuff you're looking for, but there are plenty of markets. As far as a place to go, up near the North Gate, probably the best inn that I hear people talking about is the North Look. It's a pretty wild place, but like a place where, like, you guys like seem like you're pretty wild too. I mean, hanging out and talking to prisoners, fighting talking cats. I mean, no offense. Fighting
Doesn't take it.
real cats that are still talking,
kind of
right?
cat.
Right, different talking cats. The Northlook, that's where most like adventurous types go. I mean, myself, like I live in my parents' basement, and actually,
So I think that's I think that's the best option for us. No,
I mean, they own like a market. It's probably still depending what you're looking for. I mean, it's probably still open.
Anybody else interested in going to Douglas's parents' market, Douglas's house?
Sure, why not? We'll meet the rents.
Let's go to the market.
Okay.
All right, Douglas.
Okay, so you guys go to Doug like escorts you like through the streets. Again, yeah, I mean people are like shivering and cold, and they're looking at the new folk walking through town, something at least new to look at. That's always cool. He takes you to there's like a market. It is still open, although it looks like they're getting ready to close. Like there's a like a middle-aged woman. She's very matronly, very motherly, and she's putting out like a couple of like lights that are outside. But you can see like there's still a couple of people like inside through the open door, like, and she's like got it like open just a crack as she's putting those lights out. There's a sign, and it says it's like Doug and Father, and Doug's like, yeah, they named it after me, sort of. But anyway, yeah, this is the market. His mother seems very pleased to see him. She pinches his cheeks. He's like, oh, no, it's too cold. She's like, oh, we were so worried about you, Doug. Oh, poor Dougie. Oh, look, honey, Dougie's home. And the guy who's like talking to, he's talking to like a gold dragonborn fellow, who looks like, he looks like a gold dragonborn man. We'll find out more about what he looks like in a second. And he just like looks over and he's just like, great, Doug's back. John, describe your character to us. What does he look like in the store here?
Well, he's a goldish dragonborn type feller, carrying a big greatsword on his back, and as dragonborns go, he seems like a jovial fellow.
He is. Oh, by the way, if you want to send me like a different image for your character, by all means, go ahead. I just picked a gold dragonborn. Yeah, like that. I thought like you would kind of like. So, all right. Especially if you're gonna say like it works. Let me see if can I. Yeah, I can show everybody.
It works. It looks like he's laughing. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nice guy. Are you Doug's stepdad?
Now I'm gonna laugh even harder. No. He's a silly fellow.
Oh,
What's his stepdad? And why do they call this place Brimstender? And have you guys lived here long? Like your children doesn't live with you?
wait, what?
Just personal questions.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. They kind of like shake their head at like the rattling of the Percy questions. The Doug's mother just. So, is there anything you guys are looking for in particular, Doug's friends?
Yes. Azul is looking for like general produce. I have proficiency in cooking utensils, so I want to make like soup or stew for everyone.
Oh, we don't have much, but the caravans just come back if Doug's here, so there'll probably be some fresh produce in the morning. It may not be a great selection, but there should be some fresh produce in the morning.
So what you're saying is brunch.
I suppose that is what I'm saying. Doug, is that what I'm saying? Mom, don't embarrass me. These are my new friends. But so Doug's dad is like he's looking at the Dragonborn men and he's just like, so these are the best snowshoes that you could possibly buy if you're looking for snowshoes.
Wait, didn't you get eaten by a chest?
Oh, Doug, did you lie?
Come here.
Do you have chest trauma for another reason?
Oh, that's right. Doug's dad got eaten by a chest. I forgot that. This is Doug's stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a stepdad. The Dragonborn man's not his stepdad, but this guy is his stepdad. I forgot that Doug's dad was eaten by a chest. See, that's the kind of things you got to write down in like your notes. You guys are so much better at this than me.
It was a really important detail that must be.
Yeah, that was a plot point. I mean,
Yeah, he's just like he's like, that's Gary. That's my stepdad.
you step on him? Is that what you call him, your stepdad? Like a step ladder?
It's because he's like a step under my real dad. Maybe 5 steps.
Ooh. Burn, Doug. Burn.
My real dad. He was a good guy until that chest got him.
He was a hero, a brave soul. Nobody else stood up to that chest, did they?
Nope. Nobody else. All right, so Mr. Dragonborn man, what do you think? Do you want to buy the snowshoes or not?
Yes, I say I'll buy the snowshoes. Yes.
Fantastic. Will you be wearing them out or should I put them in a bag for you?
I'll look out the door. Does it look like I need them now?
Well, I mean, most of the snow is like, matted, like, it's packed down. It's like, you probably don't need them. They might give you a little more traction, but I mean, you probably don't need them.
Bag them, my good man. Bag them.
Bag them out. Bag them. All right. Okay, coming right up, sir. And he he puts them in he wraps them in like some sort of butcher paper type stuff and hands you your snowshoes. And you definitely see, so the 3 people who have just come in, there is a very interesting looking tiefling. Interesting because so her horns are like what kind of horns, Lexi?
Like caribou, elky, like very upward, not back.
So she's got these caribou-like horns. Actually, I can just do this too. This will probably make things a little easier. We can just show the portraits to everybody. So there is Bellamy.
Aw.
One of the other people that have come in is definitely a tabaxi. And then the third person who's come in is about 9 inches tall, is hovering, like, is kind of just like, flying around the others. Oh my God. Come here. What is wrong with you? I'm gonna lock you in a closet like Patty Hearst. Stop.
Like Patty
That's mean. Poor Patty Hearst. She doesn't deserve it. Here is, except for he's got, what kind of wings do you have, Cleve? What does Percy have for wings?
Like dragonfly wings, and they are kind of an iridescent blue, green, shimmery, and they're like patches of like bluish green scales, and his hair has like hints of blue in it, and little blue fairy dust like falls off of him. Not so much that it like piles up or anything, but
What if you stayed in like one place too long?
I guess maybe it would pile up for a while.
Could I pick you up like Tinkerbell and like pat you to get some dust on them?
Pull them upside down and shake them. Oh, you have proficiency in cooking utensils. You could just use them with that salt shaker or something.
Spice! Add a little spice to your life. Is it edible glitter?
I like to think it disappears before it hits the ground. I mean, that's not canon. I just came up with that.
But yeah, so these are the interesting people that have just come in to Doug and Dad's general store.
Look over at the tiefling and the tabaxi kind of like, and then once I notice the pixie-ish fella, I probably do like a double take, a little bit of a shock.
Don't call him a pixie.
Goodness, you're a motley bunch.
We'd like to think so.
One might even call us a crew.
We have to have a name for ourselves that we came up with at the party. We must have drunkenly come up with a name.
Oh, if you did, I would love to hear it. I mean, you guys can take some time to like think of a name if you'd like, but I definitely like the idea of like you guys have coming up with a name during your drunken partying.
I'd like to think that we have like a trio name, like the three somethings or something like that, and then now have to change it.
Oh goodness, that's pressure. Why would you do that?
I don't know. And now I can't think of anything. Actually, I guess it would be the four somethings since we had Doug. I guess you could just replace Douglas.
Oh. It's okay. I understand.
Well, I mean, do you want to come with us, Doug? Doug, I'm saying.
No. We also had that the prisoner. I mean,
yeah, we had Lantha.
Yeah.
So we're at 5 now, or 6, 5.
Oh, even the Three Musketeers were 4, weren't they?
That's true. It was the 3 of them and D'Artagnan. But Doug's mother, like, as you guys are, Doug's mother is just like, oh, Doug, you have chores to do. All right, I'm going to totally change, like, his parents' voices. No, Doug's got chores to do.
Oh, Doug, your mother's right. You have to help her take care of the shop, the bar. Now that your dad's gone, who's gonna help out around here, Doug? You can't just leave her here. So
Yeah,
like,
no, I definitely, especially don't want to leave her with that Gary.
yeah,
I don't particularly
you
care
gotta keep
for
an eye
him.
out on him.
And Gary's like, Gary looks over at Doug and he's like, "Yeah, you want to pack up the snowshoes here?" And yeah, Doug's just like, well, hopefully I'll see you guys around. It was very nice meeting you guys.
You're always a part of the crew, Doug. Never forget that.
Thanks.
There's
And he
only
kind
one
of
way out, Doug.
he looks down like, you know, with a grin. He blushes a little. He kind of like, you know, kicks at the imaginary dirt at his feet, and then he goes to like, you know, help his stepdad like do shop stuff. Leaving you talking to this dragonborn man as like Mrs. Doug or whatever her last name really is just kind of like looking at the door and like looking at you guys. She doesn't want to be rude, but she's just like, definitely closing time.
Oh yeah, we were gonna head to the. Could you real quick give us directions to the Adventurers Inn, whatever that was called?
Oh, you're looking for the Norfolk? Absolutely. Yeah, if you just head straight up the main road to the town center and then just head north. It's right by the north gate.
Thank you so much. I don't want to do that anymore.
Any friend of Doug's is a friend of ours. Okay, thank you. And she's like trying to close the door. She's like, okay, thank you. Bye. Leaving you outside in the snow with a dragonborn man.
You guys don't look like you're from around here.
We're not. Are you from around here?
No.
Well, you look like an adventurer or a strong guy like us. We're heading to the North Look. Heard it's the place to be for.
If you don't mind, I would join you there. I don't have too many friends in town. Sure, that'd be great.
We're a welcoming bunch, so.
All right.
Okay.
I am strong-ish. I'm all right.
So if you're a dragonborn, does that mean one of your parents is a dragon? Also, why do you have such a big sword?
Well, to kill people with.
That doesn't sound very nice.
Some people aren't very nice.
Well, if he's not very nice, why do we want to hang around with him?
No, I mean like the people he's killing maybe aren't very nice.
No, they're definitely not nice people. I don't kill nice people. Just bad people. I don't like evil things.
Well, I guess that's all right then.
Percy,
Yes.
I was just thinking, right? So, like, you could sit on my horns, which is like kind of cool. But then, like, would it turn my hair blue for just like a little bit because of all your dust? Can we try?
I guess. I don't think the dust falls when my wings aren't flapping, but
Or like you could go in between in this like little bit here. There's like a space between the two. Don't touch the ends, they're very sharp. Don't want you to hurt yourself. Just like go in the middle and then like flutter, flap. Do you flutter or flap?
depends on my mood, I guess.
Either. Do both. And then we'll see if it turns my hair blue. Will you tell me if my hair is blue, dragon person? What's your name? Sorry.
My friends call me Bart. I really don't have too many friends, but yeah, I like to be called Bart.
Bart. Right. Well, will you look and tell me if it turns my hair blue?
You know what? I will oblige and dust Bellamy's hair.
Does it turn her hair blue?
I guess I'm gonna leave that completely up to Percy and Lexi. So it's like I definitely feel like there should be some sort of blue, but like, so what would you guys imagine this would look like?
I get in real close to him, like,
I mean, I don't know.
Grips his little spear.
I mean, would it be like somebody spilled glitter on her Oh my goodness, Chiana, why? Come on,
It would
stop.
be like someone probably like sprinkled glitter on the top of her head.
Okay.
Just like it fades after a little bit.
Yeah, so her hair is definitely sparkling blue, Bart.
oh yeah, it's a sparkly blue. It's kind of pretty.
Thank you. You should have never done that, Percy, now, because you have to stay here. I mean, there's no sun, right? But like, imagine we're walking, the sun, the glitter, my hair's already white. It's like ding, 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 very pretty. Hello. You know, easiest way to make friends.
By being shiny.
Yeah.
Not sure if this
That's
is
a
the
fair
best
trade
time.
for a concept-free ride.
I'm not sure if this is the best time to mention it in my head canon. Fairy dust is like
Oop.
product.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's as long as it's nice and shiny, I don't think Bellamy
Does
really
it
cares.
smell?
Oh man.
No, I don't think it has a smell.
Then it's perfect.
I would almost think like it definitely wouldn't have a smell because like yeah, you wouldn't want like predators to easily track you by unless that's how like this is how all of your cousins have gone. It's like things are just attracted to the smell of the glitter and
Yeah, it smells like bacon.
All right, but
Yep.
yeah, so you've got your blue hair. Definitely glitter. I mean, like it's eventually all gonna like kind of
Gonna
like
go away.
right, like, but not all of it because like glitter. I mean, it's kind of you never get rid of all of it ever. Like as they say, it's like the herpes of the craft world. It doesn't go away.
Glitter herpes. Oh.
But yeah, you guys do reach the North Look. So the North Look is it's a pretty rambunctious kind of looking place. There's it's kind of rowdy. There are a lot of people drinking and singing inside the North Look. There's food to be had, and people just kind of like just having a general rowdy sort of time. It's 2 stories. The top stories seem like they're probably rooms of some sorts. And as you guys walk in, you just see like all the chaos and stuff. Don't I have like a? I'm pretty sure I've got. I mean, it looks like other taverns you've been to.
Looks a lot like the other taverns we've been to.
Yes. I don't have a
never seen
lot
this
of
place
different
before in
taverns.
my
Like,
life.
I was just like, I figured 2 different tavern pictures would probably be enough. But you are here now with Bart as well. So let's throw Bart on there. One thing you notice that's a little different is as you come in, over the fireplace, there is definitely what appears to be a knucklehead trout. And I'm waiting for, here we go. It is mounted on the wall. And it is called Old Bitey. And it is mounted over the wall of the fire, right above the fireplace.
How big is it?
It's a little over like I'd say probably like 15 inches long, maybe 16. Does it specify? I wonder if it actually specifies.
Not that big.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like 2 feet long. Why not? It's a battle-scarred knucklehead trout. It's got to be kind of 2 feet long. It's 2 feet long.
That damn thing is
Nice.
big. Damn, that thing is big.
I shrink it.
Do you go to shrink it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
When you get within 5 feet of it, it turns and snaps at you. It's like it head turns, it snaps at you. And then it says, "Oh, there's a place I like to go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is I do not know, must be under all that snow." And it's like tail is going at the same time. And then it like, just like goes back to rest.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna shrink it now.
Okay.
Or it's laughing his ass off.
Just shrinking it down, like pitch it up, do you think?
I am not sure it would happen. Like, you know, see? You and your weird characters, man. Throwing I'm gonna shrink the fish at me.
I mean, it only lasts for like what, a round or two after I let it go, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't see any reason why. So you do actually, yeah, you shrink the the fish in the plaque because it's attached to the plaque. So it is now very small.
We start laughing.
And it turns its head to look at you again, but this time in kind of like shock. Like not like it's alive, but it's like, you know, it's definitely some sort of like just response. It's just like, and then returns its head to the resting position.
Look at Bellamy and his little like, I once got a fish that was this big.
That's pretty impressive for you.
A few of the people sitting nearby are now like looking at the bunch of you, especially Percy, with a little bit of suspicion, and they're like looking at the fish, and they're like looking at Percy, and they're looking at the fish, and they're looking at Percy, and they don't seem particularly pleased, but I mean, it doesn't seem like they're gonna try to start trouble either. Like one of them just like, you see what that little guy did to old Beatty? And he's like, I'm looking at it same as you. Of course I saw what he did to old Beatty.
Give him a little smile, like a big smile.
Yeah.
And a little wink.
I think that Dragonborn man likes you. He winked at you.
It'd be that kind of game, huh?
No.
I like you, my new friend. We should drink.
Oh, have you heard of this?
Yes.
Called ale? It's pretty great.
We just brought the shipment into town, so maybe there's some new ale and Sectra. To the bar!
Yeah, that's all Percy needs. He lets go of old Bitey
Okay.
and heads to the bar.
Old Bitey returns to its normal size, and the guys who are sitting there, they look relieved. Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't know what would have happened if old Bitey was tiny forever. I wonder if it would have changed the pitch of his voice. That was a good question, and like I'm glad I did not try to sing that at like a higher pitch. I probably could, but I don't want to. All right, not yet. Maybe later. Anyway. But yeah, definitely. You guys like go to the bar. There's some people walk away, like, you know, holding drinks, carrying them to the table, so that definitely leaves a spot open for you. And there's a human man. He seems like you know, he's up there in years. He's he's got like knotty knuckled muscly kind of like hands and stuff. He's like pretty beat up and scarred and such. Like, it seems like he's lived a rough kind of life, but he's got like a big smile, and he's just like, hello. It's the same voice as everyone else. I'm going to change it up, though. He's like, hi. What can I get you guys? Oh, wow. Look at that. It's an average-sized person, everybody. We must seem like giants to you, little fella.
Thanks for noticing.
Of course. What can I get you all? Welcome to the North Look. Oh, we have both kinds of drinks, ale and wine.
Ale.
Sure
I'll have
thing.
an ale as well.
Sure thing.
Definitely an ale.
Ale for the average size man. And you, ma'am?
Water? Do you have water?
Clara, do we have water? We
Percy
do.
looks a little, Percy looks a
I'd like
little horrified. Bellamy is like, you don't want to drink water. Do you know what fish do in there?
Do you know what fish do in there?
What do fish do in water?
Everything.
Do you have milk?
Clara, do we have milk? We do. I think she typically just uses it for cooking, but we can definitely get you a glass of that if you'd like.
Thank you so much. That would be great.
So it was ale, milk. Sir, he's pointing at Percy, what size ale would you like?
A normal sized ale, please.
Normal sized ale, absolutely. And so he scurries off to like go get your drinks and such. He puts the ales on the counter, heads back into like, the back kitchen area, comes back a few moments later with like a big glass of milk. There you go, folks.
Thank you.
So Bart, what brings you to this side of Icewind Dale?
Oh, that's a funny story. I don't know. Last I remember, I was picked up by a bunch of dwarves and brought here. I really don't. I don't remember much past that. Kind of crazy. I have no idea.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. Woke up in the snow, naked and alone, and a bunch of dwarfs found me and, gave me some clothes and armor and, hooked me up. They were cool. They were really neat fellas. But yeah, so here I am.
Did they give you dwarf-sized clothes and armor?
What's that?
Did they give you dwarf-sized clothes and armor?
Still didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Did they give you dwarf-sized clothes and armor?
Oh yeah, no, they had something for me. I mean, they fit me up. They were pretty good.
Pretty interesting that a bunch of dwarves would have like bigger folk-sized stuff.
I don't know, aren't dwarves pretty good at making armor and such?
Yeah, maybe they just, I don't know, put two suits together to, give me this chainmail here. I don't know. I was kind of woozy. I was in and out of it the whole time. But they were cool. And then they left. And I don't know. They went west, I think. They just left. They said, all right, there you are. And, they kind of dropped me off in town. And, that's it. So who are you guys? I'm Bart. Barthold, actually, but like I said, my friends call me Bart, if I had friends. But who are you guys?
Well, Bart, my name is Bellamy. and that's who I am. So, and Bellamy. Oh, is there like something I'm supposed to say? I'm not sure.
No, that's probably good. I'm
Okay.
Azul, Oz or Oz. You can call me Oz if you want. Bart. Haha. Nicknames. Yeah, I
call
think
you
we're
Ozzy?
Ozzy. Yeah, if you want to call me Ozzy, I can.
I'm calling you Ozzy.
It's not really shortening the name, but whatever.
Makes it more fun to say.
That's fair.
And I am Persimmon Brambleweed, but everyone calls me Percy.
Very cool.
Yeah, we just met up on a caravan not long ago. I guess maybe we're thinking about taking some other jobs. I don't know. Whatever finds us, I guess. You're welcome to join us. You seem like a nice guy, Bart. Even though you have no memories, I guess. Make some more with us, Bart. Huh?
All right. Oh, that sounds great. I would appreciate it. That's like I said, I don't really know a lot of people around here, but yeah, no, that's awesome. I really want to watch this little guy drink.
It's pretty entertaining, I'll be honest with you.
It is. Bart, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
So, you don't remember anything? No?
I remember my name's Bart.
Right, but you know that you kill evil.
Yeah. There's evil things. I don't like evil things.
Right. Is that it? You know? That's just what you know, that your name is Bart and you kill evil?
It kind of comes and goes. That's the only things I can retain right now. Sometimes I have these like really weird dreams and flashes, but that's all I could say for sure right now. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, I want to say I think I kill monsters. I don't like monsters. Monsters
That
are evil.
makes sense. Monsters are evil. I can confirm that.
Like I said, it's very cloudy. I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I know.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure, like, I didn't have to, like, remind you again in 10 seconds that, like, I'm Bellamy and you don't need to kill me because I'm not evil, you know? I'm just drinking milk in a bar, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Some may consider that to be a little bit evil.
Right?
You know, I just wanted to play it safe.
We're monsters too, so we should be friends, Bart.
I mean, who knows what morning will bring? But since the dwarves picked me up, I don't recall having any further lapses of what the hell's going on around here. I remember from when the dwarves picked me up, everything to this moment right now, just everything else is kind of hazy.
Right. Well, feel free to join us on whatever else we decide to do.
Okay. You guys are very trusting. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're a trust first kind of group. We just read vibes, you know.
We're down to clown, you know.
Anybody who hunts monsters can't be too bad.
All right. Let's drink.
Yeah.
And then I stare at the little pixie guy like really hard.
So
his drink is already gone. I'm gonna have to order him another.
Yeah, his drink is like completely gone. The bartender, he dropped off these like they're probably like like a pint and a half easy, like these mugs. And as you guys were like talking and just like like starting to sip your things over your milk, when you turn to look at Percy, his ale is completely gone.
Yeah, he's just wiping froth off his mouth like.
It happens like that every time with drinks, with food. You look away for a second, and then the whole thing will be gone. I don't know how he does it.
That is amazing. Where do you put it? You have like a bag of holding tummy of holding or something? I
Tummy of holding.
So like, I feel
Me
like
and the bar
talk to Mondo about this now. Because yeah, like my head canon is fairy stomachs are like a one-way bag of holding.
That's amazing.
I just eat it and drink it and it goes. Just like you, I guess.
Do you think you could enter like a speed eating competition? Do they have those in Iceland? You think that's cheating if you enter one of those?
I don't know, because it only works like that when nobody's watching.
That's fair.
Like if you're actually watching Percy, he's taking like nice little Percy-sized bites and sips.
Hot Craig eating contest.
Like as soon as your attention is distracted for a second, there's just like bones and empty bottles.
And that's why people love Percy. That's why I love Percy. That's one reason why I love Percy. But yeah, so you guys are definitely like you're getting to know each other. You're drinking. So you've ordered more ale for Percy.
More ale and yeah, whatever kind of food they had.
Oh sure, we've got an excellent fish chowder. We did get some. We were able to score some reindeer, so I definitely have some. We definitely have some meat. We don't have any real potatoes, but we have potatoes. They're this nice cleric type person comes in every so often, goes around. Not every place every day because I guess they can't do this too often, and they come and they give us these weird vegetables. They seem like regular vegetables, but they're magic, so I don't trust them completely, which is why I call them potatoes. But I definitely have some reindeer. I have we do have the fish chowder, lovely knucklehead trout, and we do have potatoes.
Yeah, I'll also take another ale and then some of the knucklehead trout soup. Knucklehead trout's just my favorite.
Excellent.
In general, so.
I'll take some of the reindeer and another ale.
Fantastic.
My friend Crichton one time told me about these things called ribs, but is it just the bones? Because bones aren't tasty. You can't eat bones.
Well, it is the ribs, but there's still meat on them. And we do still have some ribs left, if that's the kind of thing you're into, if that's what you'd like.
How many should I get? I would like to try ribs.
Well, a plate of ribs is definitely available. It's like it's probably about like 2 pounds. Some of that, of course, is the bone, which you're free to eat if you'd like. While I know that you are an average-sized person, I'm not sure if your type eat bones.
No, they're hard to chew.
Bone marrow is delicious, a delicacy.
I love bones, so whatever they don't eat, I'd love to have.
Fantastic.
You said it's...
Transfers.
2 pounds. Could I get How much? Can I get two? Can I get 2 ribs?
I could definitely give you 2 plates of ribs, sir.
Perfect. That sounds about right. It's like 8 times more than Percy weighs.
I'll be right back with everybody's food. Sit tight. Unless, did I miss anyone? Was anyone else need to order?
Nope.
I want corn and peas this time.
We do have corn and peas. Again, they're weird corn and peas that the cleric just came and just was
I forgot.
boom, here are corns and peas and potatoes. But I do have them.
No, I think I'm full from the milk. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll be right back. And he wanders off to go get your food. As you guys are like hanging out and stuff, I'm gonna roll a die really quick to see what sort of noise you're hearing.
Bar fight.
So there is a very drunk guy. He's wearing like furs that are just like, they don't look like they're very well kept. They're kind of like falling apart and stuff. He is very inebriated. He is sitting at a table like right behind where you guys are at the bar, and there's a couple of guys laughing at him, and he's just like, no, absolutely. White moose, white schmoose. They say that white moose is like killing all those loggers and trappers, and nobody can get it. No one can get that white moose. I'm telling you, I get that white moose. If those suckers in Lonelywood would just pay me what I wanted, I would have gotten that white moose ages ago. And these guys just keep laughing at him. And then the bar guy comes back with like your food and such. Here you go.
Cousin got bit by a moose once.
Your cousin got eaten by a moose. How many cousins did you have?
Lots.
They have big families in the fairy kingdom. Fairy families are large.
We work a little different than big folk families, but they're pretty big usually.
I asked the barkeep, the bartender, and say, hey, so what's with this guy in white moose?
Oh, I don't know. They apparently in Lonelywood there's a giant white moose in the area, and apparently it's been like, trampling people, knocking people about with its horns. Their best hunters, I guess, can't seem to put a stop to it. But I mean, this guy, between you and me, and you and you and you, and maybe you, it's pointing in a random direction. I mean, like that guy, he's a lot of talk, not much action. Don't tell him I said that. He is one of my best customers. But I mean, I guess if you did tell him, where else is he going to drink, right? Am I right?
Okay. Cool.
That is when... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. You keep going.
Okay.
Mind you, moose bites could be pretty nasty.
I have, just in case we ever had technical difficulties, I have a technical difficulty screen for the stream. And the music I used for the technical difficulties is the intermission music from Holy Grail.
I was hoping someone would catch that reference.
Oh, no, I definitely did, yes. And I was just like, I just set up that technical difficulty screen last night with the Monty Python music. 3 stocky figures, small-ish, not tiny, like about 5 feet. bundled in cold weather garb, come in. They're stumbling towards you guys. They've got snowshoes slung over their backs. They have ice picks on their belts. Two of them have thick beards. The third one is a she looks over towards your direction, and she says, "Bart, my old friend." And she comes trudging up to you with the other two behind her. These are the dwarves that brought you to town, Bart. This, the one who's speaking to you, her name is, and I'm going to put it all in the chat, her name is Hruna. And the other two are Corix and Storn. These are the dwarves that found you in the tundra and brought you to Bryn Shander, and they brought you to a place called Black Iron Blades, where they got you all settled up.
My friends, how are you?
Oh, we've seen better days, Bart. And she's like looking at your friends there. She's like, we're looking for some help, if you don't mind. I mean, you definitely seemed like you knew what you were doing when we pulled you out of the tundra. I mean, not at that moment, but I mean, we helped you pick out that armor, and you definitely wanted that sword, and you were just like, this is what I need, and it seemed like you knew how to use it.
Oh, yeah? Well, it just so happens, Bruna, that my new companions here, my new friends right here that I just met, and they seem all pretty cool, I think they're looking for work again.
Well, that's good. Now, there had been another dwarf with them when they found you. His name was Ubak, and you do not see Ubak. So she is like a...
So these are my new friends, and they're... And yeah, where's Ubak?
When you say that, Storn just kind of like looks down and lets out like a soft like wail. He's just like, oh. And she says, well, all right, we were delivering a sled of iron ingots to Bryn Shander. Same thing we did when we found you in the tundra. And a Yeti surprised us. Snuck right up on us. I mean, the rest of us, I mean, we ran for our lives. We're not fighters. But Ubak, the Yeti just tore him limb from limb. Storn, like, lets out another wail. He's like, oh. Corix just, like, looks stoic and just, like, a little sad. Tore him limb from limb. We looked over our shoulders, and they were just... The Yeti was pulling them apart. It was terrible. It was terrible. We ran for our lives. We barely made it to town safely. What we really need is someone big and strong, especially if he has friends who are looking for work. We need someone big and strong. I'm not doing her. She should have like a raspy, like smoker's voice. I should smoke more cigarettes. No, I shouldn't. But she's like, what we really need is someone to go back out and get that sled for us. Bring it back. I mean, as payment, we'd give each of you a gem worth 50 gold pieces. And as you know, Bart, the friendship of the dwarves in Icewind Dale can be a boon in these harsh, harsh times. Will you help us, you and your friends?
Bruna, my friend, of course I will help you. I will do anything I need. And if I find that fucking Yeti that killed our friend, I'm going to kill that bastard. And then I look at my new friends and I go, you want to come?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
from his plate of bones and is like, "Yeah, I've never hunted a yeti before."
I imagine like one of the bones is like either spinning or just like rocking, like on the plate. That's thank you so much. Yeah, these iron ingots. I mean, it's it's what we do. It's our job. We bring them to. Oh, thank you so much.
Where is the where's the sled again?
All right, if you go out through the north gate and you start heading towards Kelvin's Cairn. Kelvin's Cairn is the only mountain-sized mountain in Icewind Dale. There are some hills and such, but there's only one mountain in the Dale, and that is Kelvin's Cairn, which is in the middle of the tundra. And so she says, if you leave through the north gate and just start heading straight towards Kelvin's Cairn, I mean, you're bound to come across it. And possibly whatever's left of Ooblock. And Storn again is just like, oh!
What was that?
That was the sound of Storn, just his agony, because they were very close. I don't know what else you're hearing, but
Oh, I don't know. Something came across the screen, like a achievement, something.
oh, that was your that's the that is the new achievement
Trust
for
first.
trust first.
Okay.
Ask questions when necessary, because you guys are the trust first party.
Okay.
See, I can just make up achievements on the fly. I love the achievement system for family. You can just make up ridiculous achievements.
All right, and what time of day is it right now? It's getting late.
It is evening, yes.
Well, I doubt we should go out tonight because we'll probably freeze to death. I don't have a tauntaun to cut open and hang out in until morning. So maybe we should stay here and then we'll set out first thing in the morning.
Sounds great.
That definitely sounds fair. I mean, the Yeti has no use for iron ingots, and no one else is gonna... Here we go. No one else is gonna brave the tundra at night. Thank you, my friend. And she reaches up and she pats you on the shoulder. Thank you all.
I go over to Storn and give him a big hug.
Ooblock. Ooblock.
I'll find that Yeti. Bring back his head for you.
You know, Storm, my friend Titan, he told me one time that sad times are like nature's onions.
Nature's onions?
That's what he said. He was very wise. He was a monk.
Did he say anything else?
Not about being sad.
Nature's onions. Ooblock loved onions. And then the barkeep is just like, we do have onions as well. We call them Funyuns because, you know, the cleric. Is there anything else you would like to do this evening?
Now that I got a mission, I think I want to go turn in for the night so we can get a good night rest to hunt down some Yeti, get a sled, hopefully pick up my buddy's pieces.
I'll offer Bellamy the bones. Because she said she wanted bones.
Oh, thank you so much. I meant that sincerely, and I was just like, just politely not at it, but not just until they leave, and then I'll leave also.
Okay.
I don't like bones, and I don't want to eat them either, but I said I'd do it, so I'm gonna
Right.
try.
Okay.
Nom, nom, nom.
Percy doesn't know what tieflings eat. They could eat bones for all he knows.
Did you leave any meat on the bone?
Oh no, those look like they were picked clean by piranhas, man.
Okay.
Not even like cartilage or gristle left on them, just plain stark white bones.
Oh. Even better, my favorite. Is there a temple in town?
Yeah, if you ask, there is definitely a temple. The well-known temple in town is the shrine of Amonitor. I should probably get pronunciation guides and look these things up. But the god of the sun, and that's near the market square. There is a couple of other smaller temples to a couple of other gods, including yours, and I can't remember the name. If I know it.
I got
Yes.
Kellamvor?
Yes, Kellamvor. Yes.
Oh, well, then I'm sprinting there.
Okay.
And I will, before they leave, be like, Zuli, Percy, and Bart, I am going to go and pray and meditate, and I'll meet you all back here. Are you sleeping at this inn?
If they got room for us, that's what I plan on doing.
Of course we do.
Okay, well, I'll meet you all here in the morning. First light?
Sounds good. First light it is.
Right. And then I will go, and I'm gonna head to the temple and sleep there, but just spend the night as much as I can.
Sure.
Just to get my full rest.
Mm-hmm.
Praying, meditating, just soaking it up since I haven't been to a Kellamvor temple recently. Just getting the good vibes.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the priests there, they're very happy to see you. In their way. Yeah, and you're able to definitely spend a very peaceful night in the temple. Did the rest of you want to do anything at the inn, or are you guys just going to turn in and head out in the morning?
I'm going to turn in. Maybe I'll have one last quick ale right before I go to bed. And what was his name again?
Ublak?
Ubak.
Ublak.
Ublak.
In Ublak's memory?
In Ublak's memory.
Okay. Percy, Azul, just going to bed, or is there anything else you guys wanted to do?
Percy needs to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
I was about to say, we're going to take a break. So, yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll take a break. We'll meet back here in a few minutes. Folks at home, we'll be back. say we're back. Although things seem, I really got to switch my machines out. Okay, but yeah, we are back. But since we cut it kind of quick, take that break. Was there anything Azul wanted to do before going to bed?
No, I'm all good.
Okay.
Go to bed, Dubai. Gotta get ready for the Uzul takes his jobs very seriously. Most of the time.
That's the way to be. Like most of the time, yes. I'm on board for like taking the job seriously most of the time. Okay. So we'll bring the map back up. And so you guys would be starting from Bryn Shander here. And this over here is Kelvin's Cairn. Like I said, it's the only like actual mountain in the vicinity. Unless you start heading like, south. Those of you who have like basic, and all of you should have basic knowledge of like Icewind Dale. We can get into the reasons why you're here as the game progresses, but you all have basic knowledge, and you do know that the dwarves, in this Dwarven Valley here is where they do a lot of their iron mining. There's some good iron in this area, and so this is where they mine for it. So it would definitely be somewhere, between Bryn Shander and the Dwarven Valley. So dawn arrives. It is still, of course, dark. The sun never really rises, but there is there's definitely some twilight going on, which probably makes at least one of you feel a little good. You know who I'm talking to. And, I mean, it might make all of you feel good. I can't say. I'm not your boss.
I feel fantastic.
Excellent. I'm going to say that you all also have snowshoes now. So you do have snowshoes. You do have, Bart just bought his, but the rest of you have, you had either purchased snowshoes in anticipation of, heading towards this area, or if you didn't have them, especially those of you who were guards, Osmed was probably just like, oh, you need snowshoes, and gave you snowshoes. So you all have snowshoes. You all have your winter gear. And,
Percy is wearing a snowshoe, but still flying.
Yeah, I figured he probably had, little snowshoes just in case he needed to, walk around and didn't want to, fall into the snow. Especially since it would be deeper for you than for anyone else. But you're flying with them on, though, yes. Okay. All right, so yeah, you guys get together in the morning, and you guys are going to head out into the tundra, yes?
Yeah, I say we just make a straight line path.
Sure.
That valley. Because difficult terrain doesn't slow my group's travel.
Ooh.
See, that is
We
good.
love having a ranger in the party.
Right?
Hey now.
All right, so you guys head out. The the guards pay you no mind as you leave through the north gate.
I paid them no mind.
See how you like it.
I wave at them.
One of them kind of half waves back, and the other one just looks at him and is just stop it. You're embarrassing me. We're guards. But yeah, so you guys head out into the tundra. So you're making a straight line, like you said, Towards Kelvin's Cairn, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless anyone feels like taking the roads all the way around.
It seems like this. I mean, this is the route that they take, isn't it? Which is a straight line.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys like head out. If there's anything you would like to talk about amongst yourselves before I skip ahead, by all means, please do so, or let me know if I should skip ahead if there's anything you guys want to do as you're walking.
One thing I want to do is at some point, I don't know when, I'd like to go up to Zuli and be like, hey, I don't really know. Well, I guess I'm not really sure if I would have come along on this journey if not for you. I don't feel ready to fight a Yeti. So keep me safe, and I'm gonna cast Vigilant Blessing on them.
What does that mean?
What's that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so you're putting the Vigilant Blessing onto Azul?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so on your next initiative roll, you will have advantage.
Sick.
All right. So it is definitely snowing as you guys like head out towards Kelvin's Cairn, looking for this dwarf sled with its iron ingots. As you're getting further away from town, there definitely seems to be like more snow. It's like, it's starting to snow a little harder, and it's just white everywhere. Like, aside from like the mountain, and like, off in the distance, like, like you can kind of see the town like very small behind you. It is on a hill. But there's like nothing else in the middle of this whole, area, and it's just starting to snow harder and harder. After about a couple of hours of walking through the tundra, snow just starts flying, and you are definitely in a blizzard. You can no longer see the mountain ahead of you. It's just snow everywhere. The wind is like just biting right through, even through your, your cold weather clothing, and it's pretty cold. You can't really see where you're going. Of course, having a ranger in your party probably doesn't make that too difficult. But however, despite the fact that like the difficult terrain is not going to slow your group's travel and you can't become lost except by magical means, it definitely seems like this is not a great situation to be in. Of course, you can absolutely you can press on through the blizzard, or you could try to hunker down, whatever you guys decide you would like to do.
Well, the sled is just going to be harder to find after it's got, several feet of snow dumped on it, right?
Very possibly, yes.
I say you keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing is currently happening, I'm fine with pressing on.
Okay. So you guys press on, even though it makes like absolutely no sense. But you guys are the trust first party, and Percy is like seems to really know, despite the fact that you can't see shit. And like Percy is somehow able to like guide you through like, so that you're not getting stuck in snowbanks. It's like, if there's a big snowbank, Would you think that you're guiding them like vocally, Percy, or are you just kind of just like hoping that
Yes, but I was just about to suggest if somebody's got a normal sized rope and not a Percy sized rope, we should probably,
Oh yeah, I have rope in my pack.
yeah, we should probably, have a rope and be hanging on to it so nobody gets separated.
that is definitely a good idea because if you get separated, Percy cannot help you.
Yeah, so I'll like tie my 50 feet of rope around everyone.
All right, excellent. So you guys are like roped together. Um, Percy, do you have rope on you? Like, are you like
I'll just like I will hold one end of the rope, but I don't want to be tied to it because we might
I
have to
feel
fight
like
again. I don't
sure?
want to be tied to a bunch of people when we're fighting.
what?
Mhm.
You don't want to be tied to us?
Well, because I really like this idea, also. So I would even say that like with something like a rope. I mean, this won't work with everything, so don't try to get tricky on me. But I would definitely say with like something like this rope that's tied to everybody else, I would say that like an end that you're holding would like kind of like maybe even like taper off to something smaller. So it's like between the last person and you, like it would just like if you so wanted to do that with your shrink ability, you could like kind of make
Becomes twine.
yeah, like it was like slowly becomes twine as it gets to Percy, so it's easier for him to hold. Because I mean, the rope I'm guessing is probably fairly thick, and your hands are very
Yeah.
small.
They are very small, but I could sling it over my shoulder or something, but or just stay super close to like the person who's first in line in the rope.
Okay,
And just because we have 50 feet of rope doesn't mean we all have to be like 50 feet spread out.
right, yeah, that would actually be like that would be a bad idea. Okay,
I'll be first. Who wants to be first?
oh, that's probably not a bad idea too. Yeah, so Percy is technically first because he's guiding you, and then I probably should yeah, and then Bart, and then who is gonna go?
I'll be last.
Okay,
So Bellamy's in the middle.
Yeah, I should probably be in the middle.
Bellamy, and then Azul. Okay. All right. I would like you all to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Two.
Ooh,
Ooh,
No.
rolls be like not that good.
Okay.
Yeah.
you're terrible at Constitution.
What?
I thought I had a pretty good constitution, but it's just a roll.
She was so good for a while, and then she stopped. She? You hear dogs barking off in the distance. You can't see where they are because there's so much snow. Please, baby, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Yeah, at least it's not cats.
Okay, so Percy and Bart, like the cold is really getting to you. It's like very very cold. You can feel yourselves like shivering. You might start to feel the desire to actually take your warm weather gear off, your cold weather gear off, and just like but um, the wind is blowing. It's definitely biting into you guys. That is going to slow you down a little bit, but not necessarily in a bad way because you are wearing the cold weather clothing. But like you can definitely get the idea that these are not great conditions to be out in. And if it weren't for the fact that like Percy is guiding you, it would probably be a really bad idea. And it's probably a really good thing also that you guys have like roped yourselves together, because you could easily see like some of you are just like wandering away from the rest of the group, and just like, you know, you guys are feeling the tug of the rope, like as this snow and like wind is just blowing things around you. The blizzard goes on for wow, 4 hours. You guys are trudging through the tundra in this very cold weather. I don't know how you guys are, if you guys are talking about anything, or if you're just like heading as straight as you can. But
this isn't heaven. This sucks.
I mean, would it take us 4 hours to travel 9 miles?
Well, while it's not difficult terrain, you're definitely being slowed down just by the blizzard itself.
Okay.
Because, I mean, blizzard. I don't know. But as the blizzard starts to abate, sticking up out of the snow, you see like one hand just like reaching up out of the snow. It's got like snow on the fingertips and everything else, and it looks like it might be frozen solid, but it's reaching up out of the snow.
Hey, buddy, you need some help?
This is this is a severed hand. I know it's. They said he got ripped limb from limb. I'm not touching the hand.
Does the hand look dwarvish?
It definitely could be. It's got like dwarvish kind of like, you know, like a strong stubbiness to it.
I run over and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can I look for any like Yeti tracks or like sleigh tracks? I guess that might not be visible because of a blizzard, but I'll look anyway.
Mm-hmm. You do not see any sort of Yeti tracks or tracks of the person who left this, but do me a favor and give me a survival check.
Ugh, rolls.
That's pretty good. You do find some tracks. It looks like they belong to about half a dozen small humanoids wearing snowshoes, leading directly to the south. There are also tracks of like, it looks like sled tracks. They definitely have been made within the past hour. So it might not have been snowing as bad here before you got to this area. And these tracks are kind of recent. Bart, as you are investigating like the hand, you can definitely make out like there's more to this, whatever, where the hand's sticking out, completely covered in snow.
Okay. Well, first, I gently, when I get over to it, I gently kind of, I guess, grab the hand a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes right out like of the snow. It's like, yeah, it's like a forearm. It definitely looks like it was ripped off the rest of the arm. It's, you know, frozen solid. It is frozen solid.
Percy's like, careful with that.
Oh my! Well, at least I have a makeshift club if I need it.
You just tore his arm off. Can we dig the rest of him out?
All right, so I start. I mean, do I see any like mounds in the snow? Little, anything a little higher? I mean, we got to be close.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Underneath, like in the area where the arm is, yeah, there's definitely like a mound that looks like it's, you know, there's something that's been covered by snow there.
If you're looking for his body, that might be here, but I don't think the sleigh is here anymore. As usual, gestures to tracks.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to dig up what's on in the mound anyway.
Yeah, so you clear a whole bunch of snow from on top of from this mound, and there is definitely a frozen solid dismembered corpse, just laying there. Um, One of the legs that has been torn off is kind of laying there. The rest of it is mostly just a headless torso that's been just like torn open. It's like something has like removed all of the innards. And definitely, I mean, getting a better look at like what it had been wearing, I mean, you definitely recognize it as Ublok.
Well, I was hoping to bring his body back on the sled, but without a sled, I guess I'm just gonna leave it here. All right. So, well, if our sled's missing, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we follow those tracks that Ozul noticed to the south.
Yeah, sounds like a decent idea.
All right.
Is there anything on like the innards have been taken out of the dwarf, but like armor, rings, anything like that, something that we could take back to the other dwarves to be like, hey, we found it, just so you're not like looking or hoping that he's gonna come back and he's not.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was wearing like some sort of like leather armor underneath his furs and stuff, but I mean, it has been torn open, but it's definitely recognizable. And there's also let's say there's like an eye patch with a jewel, and that's what you recognized, Bart, as like definitely as like, oh yeah, he had a jeweled eye patch. So that's definitely Ubok's jeweled eye patch. So yeah, there's definitely like this jeweled eye patch that you could definitely take back to bring to the other dwarves.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay.
Like bedazzled or like just a large jewel?
You know what? Absolutely 100% bedazzled. Yes. It's like one of the dwarves has the bedazzler. Yes. No. Yes. It is bedazzled.
This had to be clear.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Bedazzled.
Yeah, I'll grab the eye patch and then say, so we're following the tracks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's follow the tracks. Get my friend's sled back.
All right. So you guys are starting to follow the tracks to the south. Are you now? I mean, the weather has definitely cleared. Are you remaining roped together or no?
I don't know if we really need to be roped together, but I'd say we should probably stay in like a similar formation.
Sure.
Yeah.
That
And
absolutely
hopefully they don't
makes
have any
sense.
rangers in this party and we can catch up to them.
I mean, so when you say it's let up as in it stopped completely, and now there's no more snow and
It's
wind
like
and shit like that.
it's like flurrying. It's like almost always flurrying in this area. I mean, not necessarily always, but it's just like it's just cold and it's always like overcast and there's always like flurries.
Right.
But yeah, it's not like snowing. It's not like as long as you guys like don't decide to like make camp for like a night, for the rest of the day and the night, these tracks aren't going anywhere.
Right.
It's like the weather has definitely let up enough that these tracks are going to be followable until the weather picks up again. All right, so you guys heading south and get my map ready, get your characters on here, and I'll tell you what you see in just a second. Come on. because I definitely got to get Bart on here. All right, so it was Percy and Bart, Bellamy, and Azul. Okay. All right, so you guys are moving through the tundra, heading south, despite the orientation of this map. That's south, like you guys are walking south, and as you guys come around a like a particularly like large snowdrift, like you guys can hear very faint, like but like faint but clear, like how it gets like in the snow. There's groaning, grunting, and some cursing, and you see 6 creatures. They appear to be goblins based on their stature, and they are pushing and pulling a sled. It looks like, if you can, bring you up over here, they seem to be pushing it towards what appears to be a 20-foot tall wagon parked in the snow. Harnessed to this 20-foot tall wagon are 2 roaring polar bears that don't look happy.
Yeah.
Now, from where you are, the goblins do not seem to have noticed you. They are not looking in your direction whatsoever. They are just like pushing on this like sled. They're just like, put your back into it, Jim.
I think that's the sled we're looking for.
What would you guys like to do?
I shouted him.
So,
I shouted him. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but I'd like, hey, get over here, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about firing a warning shot into the sled.
I don't know. If we're gonna yell and shout, I'm just gonna close distance. I'm just gonna run. I feel like they're too far away if they get away.
Well, they're having trouble with this sled, right? They're
Yeah.
not moving it.
Well, okay.
Yeah, they're not moving it very fast.
I'm game either way.
Okay. All right, so...
Yeah,
Sorry.
nobody has a problem. I'm definitely going to fire a warning shot at the sled.
Sure.
I'm like, hey, that's not yours.
Okay. So you're like, hey, that's not... and what are you yelling, Bart? Just like, hey?
Yeah.
Okay. Percy, you're going to fire a warning shot. All right. Go ahead and give me a... Go ahead and shoot at this sled.
Has the sled acted yet? Because if it hasn't, I had advantage on it.
The sled has not acted yet. I'll give you advantage on on hitting the sled. It's like, it's not a fast moving target. Yeah, so the 2 that are like pushing it from the back, yeah, I mean, like, it hits the back of the sled like right in between them, just as like Bart is just like, hey, and Azul is just like, that's not yours. Okay, so we are going to go into what you call it, into combat. Go into so if you remember, right click on your token, hit the cross swords on the right. Now, if this may or may not be useful to you, I keep forgetting it's there, but there is also a icon of cross swords on the top left, and that opens up a thing called something, which is sort of like a like if you click on it, you'll see that there's like it's got your token, it's got like how many squares you can move, it's got like all sorts of things you can click. Like if you have spells, I think it'll have your spells. I don't, since I'm not a player on Foundry, I don't really use it. But Cleve, you thought it was useful in the other game, right?
Not particularly.
Okay, but
I mean, it could be useful for people who don't have like a really complicated character build with, you know, a million different things to roll every time they hit.
right. So there you go. No.
You might like it.
I don't remember what it's called, the thing, but it is called something.
It's like a quick bar kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, so everybody go ahead and roll initiative. Chi, please stop. Chi, please stop. So Azul, you can just roll another d20, and if it's higher than the other one, I will just change your I'll change your initiative roll. And you can do that in the calculator at the bottom of the chat. Yeah. That is much better. Okay, so
Hey.
yeah, so that will be a this is weird music. I might change that.
This is really hopeful. I don't know, I'm feeling good about the combat with this thing.
Oh, maybe I'll leave it then. I will turn it down a little bit though. It is a little loud. This one's called Light from Darkness.
I know, you might have to change it if it starts going bad, but...
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Okay. Okay. And now let's this is like now I know why this didn't come with this battle map. It's like the description of the action, it's very large. Drawing this battle map for them would have been like insane. Wow, there's some extra music. Argon. Thank you, Gilmore. Hi, Gilmore. Argon is the name of that mod that, you know, might have the thing. Wow, I'm hearing it play for like everybody like a million times. We might have to stop that. What's this now? Oh my god. Alright. We are stopping that. And it changed the combat music once I started it, which, okay, that's fine. So maybe this is more apt. Wow, with the fanfare just like over and over again. I think it was because there were a lot of certain things rolled. Anyway, Azul, you are up first. So you yell like, "Hey, that's not yours," and a warning shot was fired. What would you like to do?
How do I like measure how far I can?
If you just drag your token,
here we go.
Yeah, you'll see. Let me set you back. Yeah, so it'll show you like the green will be your regular movement, and then like yellow will be like if you're dashing, because you have like sick movement, right?
Yeah, I can use feline agility, which is what I'll do probably to move that 80 feet.
Damn.
I'm still not. Yeah, Monk got that extra speed and I feline agility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll just close as close as I can and throw
Sure.
a dart at him.
Okay. Yeah, which one are
17.
you throwing a dart at?
Let's go with the furthest one, like the one at the top
Sure.
right.
Okay. Yeah, that will definitely hit him. So go ahead and roll, click your damage button there. Oh, nice. Oh boy. So.
And then see if I have any fun bonus actions to do that don't cost me anything. No, I think that's it.
Okay. That's sort of it. Alright, so I would definitely like to know what this looks like. So
Oh, did I kill him?
you ran 80 feet, threw a dart at the goblin that was furthest from you. And yeah, that definitely dropped him. So definitely, I would like a little bit of a description as to what that looked like to everybody else.
Oh yeah, so I don't know. Azul's like no nonsense. He like sees his enemy and he's out. He just fucking like kicks off and like snow like bursts out behind him and he's like almost immediately up there and then just throws a dart at him. Just like out of the side of his pocket or whatever, and just straight in between his eyes and falls in there.
Okay, dope. Yeah, so the goblin like drops, and like before they even really had any sort of idea what was happening, Bart.
Yeah. No, I am not going to move 80 feet. That's the best I can get right there.
Okay.
I'm going to use my crossbow.
Sure.
My light crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot, let's see. I'm going to shoot that guy.
Okay.
Bwang.
That is a 16. You definitely do hit that goblin. Yeah, easy. For 9 points of piercing damage. He cries out.
And surrender.
Okay. This goblin here is just like, wah! And he is going to he's going to move up on Azul. Or is he? Come on. You can do it, buddy.
Then
What?
I don't have to move on my turn. This is
Because
great.
I have the ruler selected. I do have the ruler selected, that's why. Okay. He's like, you killed Grokfuck! And he is going to swing at you with a scimitar, and he will roll a 13. Does that hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay. He is then going to use his nimble escape to disengage and come over here, and he is going to load his he's going to pull out the short bow is what he's doing. Okay, this one has already got his short bow out, and he is definitely going to take a shot at you. He's just like, Grokfuck! No! You darted him! Does a 15 hit you?
No.
Oh, damn it! Percy! I don't know if you can run 80 feet yet, but...
Percy cannot run 80 feet, but Percy can move 30 feet. Oh, like the same thing you did, I think. Percy will move 30 feet.
Okay.
And bonus action, Hunter's Mark on this guy.
Okay.
And I'll take a shot at him with my longbow.
Sure thing. What the hell is my hunter's mark?
He is not active yet, is that correct?
He has not acted yet, no.
Awesome.
Oh,
A 26 will absolutely hit that guy.
No, I don't think so.
Right. He's probably not a monstrosity.
That his parents might differ with you, but no, he is not a monstrosity. So he will take 9 points to start. And tell me what that looks like.
Yeah, Percy just kind of flies up ahead and takes aim. And that guy, when he's about to yell "God flock" or whatever, it's an arrow right in the mouth.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what was about. Like, that guy was about to say something, and he can't say it. Oh, snap! I forgot all about this feature. Okay, so for those of you watching from home, if the longer you watch, you get like these like little gold pieces things in like if you're hanging out in the chat. And a while ago, I did a thing, and I mean, it's still there, where like if you spend like some of these little gold coins in the chat, you can do some things, like, you know, and one of the things you can do is you can grant advantage to a player. And Lorglath 42 Gilmore granted advantage to Azul because monks are cool. So you will have advantage on your next attack. I forgot all about that. Thanks, Gilmore. Bellamy.
Yes. I got left in the back, which is not very nice. Don't like that very much. And there's not a lot I can do from back here.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like having Zuli that far in front of me with no help. So I'm just actually gonna dash just 55 feet, just like right in the middle of everyone, and then that's what I'll do with my turn.
Okay.
Just trying to clear the way for you, Bellamy. I know you got some cool stuff to do.
Okay, this guy like just falls down with a dart in his eye because he is dead. All right, this guy who his name is Calm Goblin is not calm. He has got an arrow, like a crossbow bolt, firmly, or was it the arrow? He was the arrow guy, right?
I think it was the crossbow bolt.
Okay, he's got a crossbow bolt firmly, like in his belly, and he raises a horn to his lips, and he is going to blow on this horn and kind of like cower behind the sled as much as he can. So he's got a little bit of cover from like you ranged guys, but he's blowing a horn like frantically towards that larger wagon, and that's what he is going to do.
Retro.
This virginal one, he's just like, I've never kissed a girl, and he is going to some of these names. He is going to run up to Azul, and he is going to he's definitely going to go with the scimitar attack, and a 10 will miss. So he is then going to use his nimble escape to kind of like hide behind this other guy, who's just like, don't hide behind me. That guy's dead. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. Azul.
Great. I'm gonna stand over this guy's dead body.
Sure.
And then take my attacks.
Can you move the turn after your? I don't remember with Tabaxi.
I can move. I just can't do feline agility again until I don't move.
Gotcha. Okay. And you don't need to do feline agility. All right. So you stand over that guy's body.
Yeah, I stand on his body and I will do my spear attack.
Okay.
Oh, I get advantage.
Yes. If you hit, is it control for advantage or shift for advantage?
I don't know. I can click this little button here that I think says advantage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. There's that button too.
Hey,
oh man.
Crit.
Yes.
Crit.
So, which guy? Ping him again for me.
The one that blew the horn, I
Okay,
guess.
yeah.
Even though he's already damaged, I don't like him.
Yeah, you hit that guy. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Wow, doesn't add it.
So that is a crit, and you killed him. So please tell me what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like slice up with the large blade end of my spear.
Mm-hmm.
And then for extra flavor, I'm gonna do use a key point to do flurry of blows.
Yes.
If I can find the option. Oh, here we go. Flurry of blows. God, how do I use it? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Which guy are you blowing? No, did not say it. Which guy are you using your flurry of blows on?
I'm gonna use one on each of them because I get 2 strikes.
Yep. All right. So that first one hits. I'm gonna go with the guy on top first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely hit that guy.
Damage for him.
For
7 damage on him. Oh,
okay.
No, dude. Another roll.
And that definitely hits the other one.
6 damage on him. So I like cleave up with my blade on the one that I just like cut in half, and then I like turn around and punch one of them with like also like pulling my spear back to hit the other one with like the back of my spear.
What does that look like when you killed that upper one?
Just like blunt force trauma straight to the nose.
Okay.
That bone just goes up. Yeah, it's actually a palm hit, not a fist. It's a, and then I just smash his nose in.
Okay.
That will be the end of my turn.
All right. Bart.
Advance 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna shoot that bastard again. Or well, a different bastard.
Yeah, a different bastard.
Different bastard. I'm gonna shoot this guy because she seems to. Azul seems to have everything under control over there. I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Sure. And you guys are close enough. I'm gonna zoom in a little for the stream there. That will miss.
All right, take a free action and say, "I'm coming for you, you bastard."
Okay.
That'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, this broke goblin is broke. He is going to use his nimble escape to disengage, and he is going to start making a beeline for the wagon. He's just yelling, "Help! Help! Help!" And he can't. He's got to use bonus action to do that. He can only get here, so he's just going to run 30 feet.
You could just like let me hit you. You don't have to disengage.
No, don't hit me! Don't hit me! And this goblin is going to fire his short bow at Bart. It says that he's run out of ammunition. He's got like 1,000,000 effing arrows. There we go. Does a 17 hit you, Bart?
Arg, yes.
Okay. He will do 6 points of piercing damage. And he's like, that's for Glark Flark! And then he is going to start running towards the wagon himself. Oh. So you are using this thing.
Did I accidentally touch something?
Oh, you may have, yeah, because I was looking to see if like you could do it as a reaction. You did this blood maledict thing that I don't understand.
Oh, I'm going to touch that accidentally.
Okay, all right, so that doesn't happen. Never mind. So this guy just starts running. He's just like, hey, they're killing us! Percy.
Percy has not been in your chat long enough to insult advantage, apparently. I will move there, and yeah, I'll bonus action to move my hunter's mark to that guy.
Absolutely.
And take a shot at it.
Yeah. That will absolutely hit. For 10 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah, he's like running away, screaming for help, and you catch him right in the base of the neck with an arrow.
Yeah. That will do it. That kills him. An arrow to the base of the neck will kill somebody.
Fun fact.
Ooh.
All
Bellamy.
right, so I'm just gonna move up a little bit, and then I am going to Sacred Flame that guy.
Yes.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, he makes the save. Like, so your Sacred Flame like lights up in front of him, and he kind of like skids to a stop, and like avoids like running into it.
Ugh, gross. That'll be my turn.
Okay. I gotta set it so that it skips those guys. That will bring us back to the top of the order, Azul.
I'm just gonna dart this goblin.
Absolutely. That absolutely hits. For 7 points of piercing damage. What does that look like?
Yeah, just as he's running away, just also in the base of the neck, because that kills people. Just a dart dunks in him.
All right. And Bart, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run up to that, and I'm gonna hold my action to shoot any more goblins coming out of the other sled to the north of us.
Sure. Okay. So give me a second here, guys, while I'm going to add these people here before I decide to see what they are going to do about the situation. They might not want to do anything about it at all. Who knows? Percy.
I had the ruler on, not the movement. But now I need the ruler. Bonus action to move my hunter's mark to one of the polar bears. I'm gonna try and shoot it right in the ass and make it run.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna hit it though.
That will not hit it. It hits the wheel of that really big wagon.
Alright, that's all I got.
Okay. There it is. Okay. Yep. Okay. Bellamy.
Right. Bellamy will hold her turn, her action. She'll cast Sacred Flame. If she sees another, I don't know what to say. Another goblin
Okay.
approaching the party.
All right. So if another goblin comes within range of your sacred flame, you're going to sacred flame it.
Yep.
All right.
Mm.
I kind of wish I didn't make this wagon like part of the actual map. I should have made it like a token. Okay. So there is some sort. Does anyone speak Goblin?
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Okay. There is a shout in Goblin from within this like 20-foot high wagon, and the polar bears roar and start to like pull the wagon like away from you guys. So they are moving away. And that will bring us back to the top. So, Azul.
I don't know. We got what we came for. I'm still just pulling the sled back at this point. Anybody else want to go after him, or? Because I can go. I
could go either way. If you ran out there, I would definitely follow you. I'm more interested in freeing these polar bears that look very unhappy pulling this monstrosity of a sled.
See, the issue
I'm good
is
with just taking our wagon and turning around going home. I'm good with that too.
I
Percy
didn't even think about that. Oh no, we gotta help the polar bears.
I don't think the polar bears are gonna, if we cut them loose, I have a feeling they won't just turn tail and run. We can try, but I think they might hurt us. They seem to be listening to that goblin.
They're gonna be so grateful.
Alright. Oh god. Fine. I guess I'll run.
If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I'm following you all.
Following? I don't want to. I'll wait. I'll just stay here.
Okay.
Okay.
Are the rest of you going to also just not pursue, or?
I would like to pursue it. There might be something cool in that wagon we could take back too.
Okay. All right. So Bart, what would you like to do?
Well, that guy sitting. Can I see him? Can I shoot him?
No, she's in the wagon. You shouldn't be able to see her. That's my mistake.
Gotcha. Okay. So I can't see any other goblin or any other thing.
No. Yeah.
Fuck it. All right. I'm gonna run out there. I'm gonna use my action to dash as well.
Okay. Okay. From within the wagon, an arrow comes flying towards you.
Son of a bitch. Do it.
It just lands in the snow maybe 10 feet away from you.
Lame.
But then another one. No, not you. You're dead. This guy. Another one is also going to come flying at you. This is so weird that it's not letting me. It's giving me problems with my ammunition. Lands maybe 6 inches closer, but still does not hit you. Percy.
Every time, man, I keep forgetting to switch back to movement. All right, Percy moves and takes another shot at Polar Bear.
Shooting the polar bear?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, no, okay. So you hit the polar bear with a critical hit.
Oh no!
No.
I was trying to save the polar bears.
The polar bears are making the wagon go away, and polar bears eat babies and stuff.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Nice. Unless I don't think polar bears are monstrosities either.
They are not monstrosities.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll still get the 15 and the 11.
Yes. Yeah, you shot this polar bear very hard. And it bellows in pain. And, I want you both. Come here, both of you. Thank you.
The polar bear turn invisible?
He shouldn't have, did he?
Yeah.
So didn't
His added conditions invisible.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh, yeah, look at that. I accidentally added a condition. I wasn't trying to do that. Okay. I am trying to get him in the turn order, though. Okay, there he is. All right. Okay, Percy, is there anything else you want to do now that you've shot this poor polar bear?
There's nothing else I can do. Besides, if you take one polar bear down, like, it's gonna slow the wagon down a lot. I would think.
I would think so as well. Yeah, this map is definitely too big. That's why they don't include a battle map for this encounter. Okay, an arrow comes flying out of the wagon at Percy. It will have disadvantage because he is just out of regular range. And once again, it's like, you need ammunition. I'm like, I have ammunition. I have a ton of it. That was with disadvantage, so let me see it. Let me see if I can make that worse. No, I can't make it worse. Okay, yeah, the arrow completely misses. It just goes flying past Percy and lands in a snowbank. Okay, this polar bear is just continuing to start to pull the wagon, trying to get it going from a dead stop. That is what he is doing. Bellamy.
I'm not down, to kill polar bears now that I know that we could have saved them, possibly. So I will just make my way in between the two groups, those who want to stay and those who want to fight it. And I'm just gonna chill here, just so I'm in a good healing space.
Okay. What is she going to do? She is going to... All right. You see a flicker of light from within the wagon.
Front row.
Let's make it kind of cool. It looks like someone has lit a fire inside the wagon. And there I go, making more lights. I don't want to do that. The wagon is definitely on fire.
The hell would they do that for? Must be hiding something.
That guy is dead. We can just actually just remove him out of here. Let's remove these dead guys. Okay. So the wagon has been lit on fire. This polar bear here seems to be very upset. He has been shot, like a really good shot. Like, if you're going to take a polar bear down with a tiny little arrow, that was probably a good spot to do it. Okay, so the polar bear completely rips itself out of the, whatever it was. It was, the word for the thing that you, yes. It rips itself from the harness. And it starts to run very angrily straight at you, dude. Bart. There we go. It's running straight at Bart. And it gets to the end of its movement. Was that the end of its movement, really? Yes. And it just lets out a roar, and it looks like it wants to charge you some more, but it is stopping there. And Azul.
Azul just sighs. um. Ugh, I can't even get that far. Can't even get as far as I want. I will do my feline agility, and I will also take a dash action. Wait. Oh wait, I can math. I can move farther than I thought. 120? That's right. Yeah. Can I get into the like, okay, if I pull up to the caravan, how on fire is it? And can I get in it still?
The fire seems to be spreading pretty quickly. You can definitely get in to the back of the wagon from what it looks like. It looks like it's like there's like a like a flap, like a wagon flap on the back. So it looks like you get in, but it looks like the fire's catching pretty rapidly. It's spreading quickly.
Wait, I guess I'll just go like to the back of the wagon.
Okay.
That's all I can do though.
Mm-hmm. All right. From the back of the wagon, you see heading off into the snow with a hawk on her shoulder is this goblin. She looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a good image for this goblin, and this is what I found. So she's like yeah, it looks like she is like making her way into the snow. She has like apparently no interest in sticking around. Bart.
I really don't want to do this, but I think I'm going to have to because I don't want to get fucking mauled by a bear.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
my Crimson Right.
Okay.
So I'm going to take my 1 point of damage. Damn computer.
All right, so you learn to invoke a rite of hemocraft within your weapon at the cost of your own vitality. And so you choose one of the primal rites from below. So what is the primal rite that you were?
Fire.
So you do. So when you hit something, you will do an extra D4 of damage, fire damage. Yes. Okay. All right. Got it.
And then that was my bonus action. I'm going to advance to the polar bear. I'm really sorry about this, Mr. Bear. I really didn't want to do this, but you look like you're going to eat.
When you close on him, he does lash out with his claws. I believe at 11 will miss you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, he had ready to hit to attack whatever came near him, but he misses you, and you apologize to him and go ahead and.
Oof.
Fucking A.
That will miss.
Shit. Okay. All right. That's it.
Okay. Broke Goblin is deadly.
I used my free action. Not me. I didn't do it.
Where's this allegedly? Karen Goblin is dead. Why are you showing up in my? All right. Okay. Azul, out of the back of the wagon
Oh boy.
jumps a goblin. He is very surprised to see you. He did not expect you to get there so quick. He is going to take a slash at you with a scimitar. He will have disadvantage.
Not a chance.
Yeah, he would have missed you no matter what. He is then going to use his nimble action to try to catch up to his boss. He's yelling something at Goblin that sounds suspiciously like, "Wait for me." Percy.
Percy will move. And then, shoot the bear.
Mm-hmm. That will hit the bear.
God.
He will take 11 points of damage plus an additional 1. It roars in pain again. It is badly hurt. Oh, and Azul, once that guy like opened up the back of that tent flap, you know, there's like a lot of hay and like cloth bedding and stuff in there, and that seems to be what is causing the fire to spread so rapidly. Just that that's what you can see in there.
All right.
Another goblin comes out of the back. He is also surprised to see you. He's like, "Ah!" And he's going to try to take a swipe at you. And will a 14 hit you?
Nar.
And he is going to do the same
So-
thing. He starts like hauling ass away from this burning wagon, and the surprise tabaxi that's like hanging out in back of it. They're like, that tabaxi was so much further back before. This polar bear is struggling to break free of its harness as well. It is just roaring and just like yanking. It's actually like pulling the like shift, like not pulling it like away, but like it's trying to break away. So it's kind of like moving the wagon, like, you know, like in a circle. It's like it's almost like a donut, not a donut, a 360. But yeah, that thing. But that's all he's doing. He's just trying to get away. Bellamy.
Alright, Bellamy will sigh and be like, alright, I guess we're fucking doing this then. And she will move.
Hey.
Hit 30. And then if I move over here,
Yeah.
will I be able to see any of the goblins that got out of the cart? Or is it like...
You can definitely see this one here.
I can see that one?
Yeah.
That's not as fun. No, I don't think it's worth it. So I will just, you know, move some more. Maybe. Because that's what D&D is about. It's a walking game, you know.
I mean, aren't rounds like 6 seconds? You're like hauling ass, going 60 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's true. Well, you know, I move some more once my people catches up, but
Okay.
that's what I'll do with my turn. Don't
Okay.
want to hold up.
All right. This lady with her hawk are dashing away. So I'm gonna basically take them off the map, but I'm just gonna put like a little 55 there because she's an additional 55 feet away. All right. This polar bear is very, very upset. It's in a lot of pain, and it is going to. It is enraged. It's going to first try to claw at Bart. Does a 13 hit you, Bart?
Thank God, no.
So as you sidestep its claws, It then tries to bite you in the head. But it doesn't look like that works either. It's like in too much pain. It can't focus. It's just enraged, but it's got no focus. Azul.
How far away is the leader lady?
She is... Ruler. She is 55 plus... So she is 85 feet away from you.
Annoying. It's annoying. I don't know. I guess I'll move my 40 feet off the map.
Okay, so I'm gonna just So it's another 40 feet off that map, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess 40. I was only 5 feet off the map. I think.
Right,
I was
but
35 feet on the map, and then.
Okay, so 35 feet on the map, and then it would be an additional how many feet that you could move?
5. Or yeah, 5.
Okay, so you're not like dashing or using your.
No, I.
Okay.
I guess I could step in the wind. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll step in the wind up to her, which would get me. I think I would close because the total would be 80 feet.
Okay. So then I'm going to change this to. And I'm going to put you guys back on the map so we can see you and so you can see her. So, well, I'll even pull you back another 5 feet just so you can see the little 55. And so, yeah, so you are within 5 feet of her. So we'll put you like really like, that's the hawk. Move out of the way, hawk. All right, so you like, yeah, you definitely like have gotten behind her. You're far away from these goblins here, but we'll just move them to the side.
I think one of them might have gotten an attack of opportunity on me with the path I took. So if you want to do that.
No.
I don't know if they already used their reaction or not. But then I'll just do my spear attack.
Yeah. All right, that will hit her.
Damn.
She will take 7 points of piercing damage.
That is the end of my turn. Or I'll just say at her, I'll stop, Eve, but tell me why you set the caravan on fire.
Okay. All right. Her hawk leaps off of her shoulders and tries to leap into your face. It's just like flapping its like wings just like kind of like around you. It's a little dopey. It's called a dopey hawk. Bart.
I'm sorry, Bear.
Aw.
I gotta do it. And eat me.
I think that hits. It does. That does hit the bear.
Thank God.
Yes.
I mean, it's terrible.
Right. No, I understand.
I don't know why it rolled. Did it
Oh,
roll
because
3
you
times?
because you rolled one of your rolls was a 2. So it's like
okay.
you have great weapon fighting, right?
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Wow, it did that automatically. Yay.
Yeah, it's set up to do that automatically. All right. So
Okay. I'm gonna add my D4 to that too.
yeah. All right. So your burning blade sinks into this brash polar bear. As you apologize to it, what does it look like when it says, "It's okay, man. I understand." It doesn't say that. That's not canon.
I'm too upset about it to even go into detail on what that looks like.
Okay.
Very heartbreaking.
All right. So you have dropped the bear.
I did it very quickly and neatly, as painless as possible to
Sure.
murder the bear.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. You put it out of its misery.
And then I'm going to use my action then to advance to the caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, 10 feet too many. Sorry. Or to the sled. And the other bear, does it look like it's just trying to get away, or does it look like it's wanting to eat me as well after it gets off the fucking sled?
No, this wagon is going up very quickly. It looks like it just really wants to not be connected to this wagon anymore. This wagon is the worst thing that's ever happened to it, and it even got worse. It was just like it's pulling this wagon around, and it's like my life couldn't get any worse, and now it has been proven wrong. Its life can get worse. The wagon can be on fire. He wants to get away from this wagon.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I could do anyway at the moment. So I'm done.
Okay. Oh, I skipped my goblin. All right, so this goblin, the verbose one, instead of like trying to even like deal with like anything that's happening, it like once like Azul runs past it and attacks its like probable boss, it just like breaks to the right and just like is trying to get away. It's like just running into the snow. Percy.
Percy will use a dash action and move all the way up there.
Okay.
And is
That is an additional 55 feet away.
right. I'm just trying to think. Well, it doesn't matter right now if it's in range, I guess. That's it for me. That's all I got.
Okay.
Actually,
All right.
no. I'm sorry. I want a bonus action to move my hunter's mark to
Sure.
the bard-looking goblin.
Is there a range on that or no?
Let me check. The range is 90 feet. So I guess the range will matter.
Yep, that's within range. Absolutely. Okay, the intelligent goblin is also going to make a break for it. It is not getting involved in this nonsense. It's like watched you guys like wipe out a whole bunch of goblins. It heard like a polar bear go down. So it is also like not getting involved.
Nope.
This modern polar bear is struggling to break free of its harness a little harder. It is still just dragging this wagon around a little. Bellamy.
Alright, so it wouldn't let me move my token when it wasn't my turn, but I did move the other 30 feet
Okay.
for my dash last turn,
Mm-hmm.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Is that alright? So that would put me like 60 feet from where I am now, because 30 and then 30 for now.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that the polar bear was like doing 360s or like donuts. Is he still doing that?
Yeah, it's just trying to break free of the wagon, so it's kind of like just dragging the wagon like back and forth. Like one of the wheels of the wagon is broken now. The wagon is like definitely on fire. Like pretty badly on fire.
Where in the 360 is he? Like, basically what I'm going to try to do is help it and use my mace and like hit where it's joined to the cart so it can move.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, it has been dragging it around. So we're gonna go ahead and say that it is probably close enough that if you wanted to try to smash with your mace at the wagon, it's like pulling it down, it's pulling it back and forth. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and like roll an attack with your mace on the harness. The wooden part there. Yeah, that'll do it. Go ahead and roll your damage. It's like pretty damaged, so you might be able to like smash it. I like that D6. Yeah, you absolutely smash the wood. So it's still got the leather harness on, but the wood is smashed. It's going to be a lot easier for it to get free of the leather harness part. Now that wood has been smashed. Not that I know a lot about harnesses and wagons and shit. I'm making stuff up, man. But yeah, it's going to be easier for it to get away.
It sounded good, so all right. I think that's all I'm gonna do for this turn.
Okay. All right. So this goblin boss, like, yeah, she got hit by you. You were like, "Why'd you set that wagon on fire?" And she says, "It's a distraction. Like this."
Oh god.
Wow, this is completely wrong. It says it's a devil, and it can make one attack with its beard and one with its glaive. It has neither a beard nor a glaive. This is a broken stat block. What it does have is a scimitar. I mean, that's for sure. And it is going to try to use the scimitar on you. So she's like, it's a distraction like this. And she slashes you really hard with the scimitar. She will crit on you.
No.
And that will do 10 points of slashing damage.
I guess if I have to be hit, I guess it's okay if it's a crit. The only time I've been hit in this encounter.
And then after like her really nice like slash, like she just starts to she uses her nimble escape and she's gonna run 30 feet away from you. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this an 85 compared to your. Oh, I lost your thing. It was she had 55, so you had 50.
I had 50.
Yeah. So, okay. So she is still trying to run away. She was like, "Distraction, ha!" And she just runs. Brash Polar Bear is dead. It is no longer her turn, but it is yours.
I will run my 40 feet of movement.
Okay.
And hit her again with my spear.
Sure. So with 40 feet of movement, so like you could get you could get up to her using 30 feet of movement. You could be right behind her. And that would give you 10 more feet of movement if you wanted to, like, even if you wanted to, like, get in front of her or just to the side of her. But you would still have 10 feet once you caught up. Or you could just stay behind her, however you want to do it.
I'll stay behind her. It's
okay.
Fine. I'm assuming I miss with my spear.
Yes.
And then I will try and do my unarmed attack. Does 16 hit?
Yeah, it absolutely hits.
Cool beans. 6 more damage. And that is...
She punched me!
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Alright, her hawk is going to try to gouge your eyes out again with its talons.
No.
So, it flies up like... How much movement's it got? That can't be right. It's got to have some sort of fly speed. We're going to give it some good fly speed. So it flies up like 50 feet in the air and just lets out this like terrifying shriek as it's got its like talons out. and it comes like barreling straight down at your face. But maybe it doesn't have good depth perception, because poof, right in a snowbank about 3 feet to your left. So that did not work out well for that hawk. Bart.
All right. I'm also going to run up to this bear here, and I'm going to try to use my sword to slash at the leather straps to free it, and hopefully it'll run off because it's a burning fucking cart.
Sure. Okay. Oh, I'm totally like, yeah, I keep not making my rolls public again. But yeah, that the hawk got a 1 before, in case that wasn't obvious. Yeah, it crit failed. My rolls are public again, so I'm gonna do this really quick. And
Does a 6 hit the leather straps?
no, it does not. Sorry, I wasn't looking because I was seeing what this bear was doing. So the bear does not seem to. The bear seems to understand, perhaps, like what you are trying to do. I'm not saying it's your friend or even trusts you, but it is not trying to maul you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's like, between Bellamy smashing the harness and not trying to smash it. Yeah, this bear does not want to. This bear doesn't want to eat you yet. Yeah, this goblin is going to get like another 60 feet away at least. Percy.
So is the bear free yet?
The bear is not free yet. It's nearly free.
Why can I not move?
Oh, because I haven't done this thing. I'm sorry, my bad. That's my bad.
Alright, so is there still like a leather strap or something holding the bear to the cart?
Yes. Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot that leather strap.
You're gonna shoot the strap? Go
I
for
am.
it.
Maybe I'm gonna shoot the strap.
You shoot the strap, but like, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, definitely roll some damage, but yeah, you definitely hit like a large part of the leather harness. Not like the strappy strap where you could like sever it, but you've done some more damage to the harness.
Well, cool. That's it for me.
Okay, intelligent goblin runs further. Bear is now going to try and break free again. It will have advantage this time, and that is going to do it. It snaps the strap. Thanks to the damage between like everybody trying to help it, Bellamy smashing it, Percy shooting it, Bart menacing it, and it just like starts hauling ass into the snow as fast as it can, which is going to be 40 feet. So it's just like it wants nothing to do with this burning anything. It's just moving away.
Bye, Barry.
Bellamy.
Hi. Bellamy's gonna take off as fast as she can, to get near Zuli.
Okay.
As quick as she's just dashing.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're like off of the map, so I didn't want to move, but
Well, you
where
could
I'm going.
go ahead and move like go ahead and move 30 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add another 30 feet to that. So you are at 30 feet. So you are about you're about 50 feet behind them.
Okay.
Okay, this goblin lady is just like so disappointed in her life choices that she's being chased by a tabaxi when she's clearly just trying to get away. And she's like, just why won't you give up? And she will slash at you with her scimitar.
I wanted to just take the cart, but you know my friends want you dead. So
she rolls a 12. She will completely miss you, and she's going to do the same thing. She's going to nimble escape and move another 30 feet, which will bring her to 115, away from everything else. And it'll be your turn again, so you can just catch right back up to her.
And that's what I'll do. And I'll spear attack her, and I'll punch her in the stomach.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Why does my spear always miss? It's a 21 hit.
That definitely hits. A 21 definitely hits.
I can hit with my fists, but not with my weapon.
Ooh.
8 damage.
Yeah, she takes 8 points of damage. And, yeah. So, like, you said you were hitting her in the stomach. So, like, I mean, you definitely have knocked the wind out of her. She retches a little. And, yeah, she is just, like, she's definitely... She is in bad shape.
I'll just yell, give me everything you have, and I won't kill you.
Okay.
Oh, I have to end my turn. Oopsie.
All right. Okay. The hawk rushes out of the snowbank that it dove into, and it's going straight for your back.
No.
And it just like flies like, you know, really close to your shoulder. Like you hear like you can hear the claws like slicing the wind, but it does not hit you. Bart.
Everyone's so far away from me.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, everyone's pretty far away.
So far away. I'm gonna observe what's left of this wagon to see if I can see anything from where I'm at that might be worth trying to salvage before everything gets burned up completely. I mean, is it just hay in there, or is there something else that might be worth anything?
So, give me a perception check, like if you're trying to like peer through the fire and the.
Damn it!
There doesn't appear to be anything of value. I mean, everything that you're seeing, it looks just like mostly like wood and straw, and it doesn't look like there's anything of any real value in the inside the wagon.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna use my movement, and I'm gonna try to catch up with my new companions.
Sure.
Take me to get there. So, with my 30 feet.
Yeah.
And, wait for baby.
Okay. Alright, this goblin's moving off another 60 feet.
Right, still.
Percy.
Percy will move 30 feet
Okay.
after the main goblin there
Mm-hmm.
and take a shot.
Sure. That will hit. Okay. So she got gut punched really hard. Um, and Azul was just like, give me all your stuff and I'll let you live. So she's just like, fine, I'll give you everything. Just please let me live. What does it look like when you kill her, Percy?
I think I missed that part of the conversation. Yeah, she's like, okay, I'll give you all my stuff. Just don't kill me. And then like an arrow catches her right in the ribs.
That happens. She slumps to the ground. And
Azul goes, well, I didn't kill you.
Oops.
You kept your word. And she drops. The hawk is just going to like cry out in sadness and fly away. Unless you guys are interested in chasing down these other two goblins that have like gone off in a completely different direction and you can't really see, I'm going to end combat here.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right. And yeah. Hey, you guys did it.
Oh, donkeys.
So we went pretty late, so we're gonna end it in oh, here we can play this once, I guess. Oh, that was it. All right. Okay. Yeah, so the wagon is completely engulfed in flame now. It's like, it's just burning. That polar bear has gotten away. And you have this dead boss-looking goblin, like, here.
Oh yeah, I would like to loot her body.
Yeah, absolutely. On her body, so she's got a scimitar, she's got a short bow, and she's got some arrows, and she's got... She has got tucked into a pouch on her belt. She has got two potion vials and a sealskin pouch that when you move it, it like definitely got some coin in there.
Nice.
Looking inside, there's also what appears to be a bone whistle. By appears to be, I mean like it is. It's a bone whistle. It doesn't appear to be a bone whistle. It's a bone whistle. I'm going to put those into the chat. And the two potion vials. And this will probably be a good place to end it. Like I said, we did go pretty late due to the combat, but we also got a late start. But
before we wrap up, I
yes,
just want to cover arrows, and if there are any arrows on the goblin corpses, I'll collect those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They are. Yeah, each one of them's got 15 arrows, and there are 6 of them. So whatever 6 times 15 is 90.
Nope.
Yeah, I'd also
a whole bunch of new arrows.
And as far as like recovering stuff, so you guys can recover half of the ammunition you lost. That includes like the darts, crossbow bolts, etc. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we call it a night?
I want to take the bear carcass back to the town because that's good furs we could use, and I don't know, somebody might eat bear meat.
It will be a little difficult. The sled looks like it's really heavy. You might not be able to get the whole carcass back to town on this particular trip and the sled.
Why don't we just skin the bear here?
Maybe just a hide.
You could absolutely skin the bear. I mean, you could even let people know where the carcass is. I mean, it's just going to freeze, so it's not going to go bad.
Okay.
But yeah, you can definitely take some time to skin the bear. Anything else, guys?
Um, as we're like getting together,
Mm-hmm.
can I cast my channel divinity so that Zuli can get some health back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to do.
Okay.
Um, it's not in here, but
Was it the Twilight Sanctuary thing?
mm-hmm.
Here, I'll make it a favorite there. Yeah. Okay, it should be on your attributes page now.
Perfect. Thank
Yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Take a few minutes and warm up by the burning wagon.
Yeah, you guys can definitely warm up by the burning wagon.
But I'll get everyone in there, and then yeah, and then I'll get 5, right? This is a D6 plus 2,
Yep.
so 5.
Yep. Everyone gets back. Well, they get 5 temporary hit points, which will definitely help. And on Foundry, there's a spot on your character sheet where you can put temporary hit points, right below your hit points. It'll be like plus temp, and you can put in the temporary. And when you get hit or something, it will take those away before it takes away your regular hit points. So you all get the 5 temporary hit points. And then I believe that'll be it. Guys, thank you so much. So we're going to do this again next week, and then we'll be back on the every other week, right? Everyone's good?
Yeah, I think we're good with that.
Awesome. I'm going to end the stream. You guys can hang out for a few if you want. People at home, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. We'll see you here again next week, around 9:00 Eastern time, and if you want to follow me on Twitter or on the here on the Twitch when I do other stuff, it'll be there. Does anyone else want to plug anything? Anyone else doing any streams or anything else they might want to plug?
No, not really.
Okay. But so I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you very so much, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Night, everyone.
Hey, thanks for running this Monday.